welcome back to Modern Classics. I'm your host, Pete Tubbs. Recently, the Academy Award nominations were announced and 8 films were nominated for Best Picture of the Year. I've recently watched them all, and now I'm going to rank them for you from worst to best. So sit back, grab a ballot, and vote this week on Modern Classics. At number 8 is Bohemian Rhapsody. This biopic about Queen's legendary lead singer Freddie Mercury is not a bad film at all. In fact, it's a perfectly enjoyable piece of history that is never less than fun to watch. The problems with the film stem from its reluctance to embrace the darker parts of Mercury's life and its reliance on genre structures. It just feels a little too much like other musical biopics such as Walk the Line and even Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story. Black Panther is my number 7 pick. The critically lauded blockbuster superhero film is no doubt a groundbreaker, but I just don't believe it's one of the best movies of the year. The cast is roundly superb, but the film goes on too long and sometimes smothers its fantastic performances with an overabundance of iffy CGI effects. While it does rank in the top tier of Marvel films, it's not Oscar material. At number 6 is Vice. The story of former Vice President Dick Cheney is an angry film that throws scenes at the screen like speeding bullets. The cast, including Christian Bale, Sam Rockwell, and Amy Adams, all give great performances, but the movie is just a bit too scattershot and murky in its tones that the final product ends up being less than the sum of its parts. Number 5 is The Favorite. This stately comedy is from famously askew director Yorgos Lanthimos. While it is his most accessible film to date, it's still got more than its fair share of quirky ticks. It's a fun and subversive ride that features 3 peerless performances from Emma Stone, Olivia Colman, and Rachel Weisz. But its emotional core is somewhat lacking. Number 4 is Spike Lee's newest joint, BlacKkKlansman. This searing and important tale of a black man going undercover in the KKK is at times unexpectedly funny and emotionally devastating. John David Washington proves that he can act just as well as his father, and Adam Driver provides a perfectly complimentary supporting role to the main act. The film is sometimes hard to watch, but it's one of Lee's best movies in over a decade. At number 3 is Bradley Cooper's directorial debut, A Star is Born. Cooper also stars alongside Lady Gaga in this tale of fame and love. Cooper manages to reap a huge amount of emotion from a story that's older than most of our grandparents. A Star is Born is perhaps the most emotionally affecting film of the year and stands tall above most remakes as one of the best. At number 2 is Alfonso Cuarón's newest masterpiece, the thrillingly personal Roma. This black and white film, which is entirely in the Spanish language, is based on Cuarón's own young life. He uses variations of his own experiences to craft one of the realest portraits of life ever seen on the big screen, although it is a Netflix release. This movie has lingered in my mind since I first saw it, and I look forward to returning to it many times in the future. At number 1 is a film that I did not expect to be this high on my list. Peter Farrelly's Green Book is my favorite Best Picture nomination of the year. While it is apparently controversial, I have not read into that. What I did read into, however, and saw firsthand was this expertly performed tale of racism and friendship and food in the Deep South. Viggo Mortensen and Mahershala Ali give 2 of the finest acting showcases of the year in this endearing, albeit a bit predictable, crowd pleaser of a film. It's a movie I can see myself revisiting for the rest of my life. Well, there you have it. Those are my opinions on the 8 films nominated for the top prize at this year's Oscars. The ceremony will be held on February 24th. Hopefully you'll have a chance to catch up on some of these before the show. Until then, this has been Pistol Pete Tubbs with Modern Classic.